For the love of all things holy, would farmers, anyone involved in the business of agriculture, stop talking about how lawns and golf courses are one of the major contributing factors to water quality issues in the state of Iowa? Please. Ever since we had our issues with water quality this summer, I've listened and viewed all sorts of posts on social media and podcasts and read different articles with people espousing that it's not us, it's not the farmers, it's the people in the cities. So I decided last night to sit down and do the math on how much the people in the cities would have to be applying to their lawns and golf courses in order for them to be the problem and not agriculture, as I've heard a lot of people say. So here we go. So on average, there's about 340 million pounds of nitrogen that is lost through Iowa's rivers and streams every year, okay? And so if we're going to put that blame on people in cities with golf courses and lawns and over-fertilization, we need to be able to figure out how many pounds they'd have to be applying to make that happen. So we know that there's about somewhere between 600,000 to 700,000 acres of lawn and golf courses in the state when you do a little research. So when you take 340 million pounds of loss divided by 650,000 as an average number, you come up with an average acre of loss on every acre of grass in the state of Iowa would need to be 523 pounds of nitrate. So in order to get 523 pounds of nitrate, that doesn't just occur naturally. You'd have to really over-fertilize to get that. So when you take a product like Scott's Turf Builder, which is about 32% nitrogen in the analysis, that would require 1,634 pounds per acre of Scott's Turf Builder applied on every acre of grass in the state of Iowa. But we also know that would assume 100% loss, and so we actually have to back things up even further by figuring how much of lawn fertilizer applications are actually lost to things like leaching or just plain runoff. And university experts would anticipate that that's roughly about 33% of applied nitrogen. So when we divide that even back further, we get close to almost 5,000 pounds per acre of Scott's Turf Builder, 32% analysis would have to be applied to 650,000 acres in the state of Iowa. When you look at what the retail price of Scott's Turf Builder would be, that would mean that every homeowner with a lawn or manager of a golf course would be spending, on every acre, would be spending about $10,000 an acre to have that green, crisp cut. And then when you start to think about it, there's lots of people that are tight asses like me that don't fertilize their lawn because I got way more important shit to do than mow my lawn every 3 days throughout the summer. So when you factor that in, that maybe, that only 50 or 60% of grass in the state is actually fertilized, the number's getting even worse. So the point of this video isn't to hate on farmers or really anyone specifically. What I'm trying to hate on is the culture that exists in agriculture where we just deny and deflect any type of criticism that comes our way. We don't take accountability for anything. We want to point the finger at somebody else. It's not just in agriculture. It just kind of seems to be ubiquitous across all American culture. And to that, I say enough. I say enough to that because as a farmer, as somebody with a degree in agronomy from Iowa State, somebody that's worked in ag retail for 20 years, I know we're full of shit. And there's a lot of people out here that know the same thing. And it's time we call, when people say these type of things, if we want to have any credibility with the general public in the future, we got to start being honest about what's happening. And we're going to claim that 650,000 acres of lawn and golf courses are going to outweigh the inputs of 27 million acres of cropland in this state. We got another thing coming.